everybody, and welcome back to Noodles at Noon, the show that focuses on things that are not worth focusing on. I am your host, who had his neck cracked by a good friend of his. Hi, it's me, Ben, and I'm joined as always by a man who has never had his neck cracked in his entire life, nor has he gone to a chiropractor or gotten a massage, nor has he popped any bones or cracked his knuckles. He's just one very stiff, tense man. it's Noah.
I'm tense all the time. It's true.
Could you imagine if you'd never had any or popped any joints or anything? You just lived your entire life not moving.
You could just introduce me as a man who has never experienced human touch.
I can't say that, Noah. You're married.
That doesn't mean anything.
We've had your wife on the show.
Yeah, but did she ever touch me? Who knows?
I think she gently brushed your shoulder one time
to stop me from saying something. I was about to say something, and she's like, "No, don't go there.
No, don't go there." Yeah, no, that's not quite.
Slaps her hand on my mouth.
Yeah, stop it. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. You can catch us on our website, noodlespodcast.com.
Noodlespodcast.com.
Or anywhere podcasts are available, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, and coming to you live this week from the live stream of the Monster Jam World Finals, which for some reason doesn't exist.
Aww.
It is so funny, and I'll probably talk about this more during my weekly update, or I could just go into my weekly update right now.
Just go into your weekly update.
But as I'm sure I've mentioned on this podcast many times, I love monster trucks. I try not to mention it a lot because it doesn't seem to fit my brand. Which Noah pointed out the other day to me, that it doesn't make sense to him that I love monster trucks so much. Why is that, Noah?
I don't know. I think you typically tend more toward hobbies that are productive or constructive.
What's not productive or constructive about monster trucks?
At least the way you were driving monster trucks on that video game we were watching you play, it was very destructive.
I did buy a video game that you can mod, and then you can drive monster trucks on it. And I did force Noah and Jesse to watch me play it. Because apparently I wasn't working that day, and I had nothing better to do.
I think I was working, but you Discorded me, and you're like, hey, we need to talk. We need to get on a Discord.
I don't think I said that. I think I said I have something. No, I think I just said...
Your parents are moving a piano behind you or something. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't know what they're doing, but...
I think it's their headboard.
Oh, okay.
Important note, they've both been sick, and earlier today, and by earlier today, I mean an hour ago, maybe, my mom made me come upstairs and put the fitted sheet on her bed because she was too tired. But apparently she can now carry.
Well, it really looked like the back of an upright piano. And your parents were just barely trying, just lifting this piano.
They did wait until I started the podcast to do this. So they can complain about it later. No,
Ben, why didn't you help us?
Why didn't you help us? You in that podcast. I'm pretty sure it's the headboard from their bed, which is a solid oak door. So why they've decided to move it now or at all is beyond me.
Maybe they're moving out. Maybe they're leaving you the house.
Maybe. My mom is, I think I've also mentioned this, on this minimalism kick. So I'll just come home and things will be gone.
Yes. I love
things
it.
I use every day. And most recently, I got home, took my hat off, and put it where the hat rack was. And I was like, Mom, where's the hat rack? And she was like, oh, I didn't like it anymore. And many times I have take my hat off and gone to put it on the hat rack, and there's no hat rack there.
Aww.
And yeah, I'm very sad. I miss my hat rack.
I'm proud of her, though. Minimalism is good. I hope to see, each week that bookshelf behind you is going to be gone.
Don't encourage her.
Keep Calm and Carry On sign on the wall is going to be gone.
Don't. That's the worst case scenario. I was going to say something. Oh, I had a joke. What did the hat say to the hat rack?
You impaled me.
No, that hat said, you stay here, I'll go on ahead.
Oh, it's
Pat
good to be
joke.
back.
I have a joke for everything.
I missed this the last few weeks.
Why did they wait to? They knew I was doing this. We were watching Ghostbusters, the new one, and I was like, "Hey guys, I gotta go record a podcast." And they're like, "Okay," and they paused the movie, and now they're like, "Time to leave or time to move out."
We're gonna move out. We're gonna bring our bed downstairs and finish Ghostbusters, just while laying in bed.
Have the mattress next.
Yeah,
That'll make it really awkward for me to go down and watch it with them now. Maybe that's the plan.
I think you were gonna tell your weekly update, and then
I think I've taken up all my weekly update time.
You.
I would have noticed eventually. No, we were talking about monster trucks and how they don't necessarily match my personality, and how I forced you and Jesse to watch me play a monster truck video game, which since then I have bought and downloaded another monster truck video game. So,
oh no,
you're welcome. No, but I love monster trucks, and this weekend, or this past weekend, I guess, is the Monster Jam World Finals. And 2 days ago, and I don't know if I mentioned this, my brother also loves monster truck like as much as I do. We love monster trucks; they're amazing. The Monster Jam World Finals this weekend, they had qualifying for racing to dictate how the racing bracket is. That was on Thursday, and they had a live stream of it. They had broadcasters, they had cameras, they had all that stuff for qualifying. And then today is the actual racing event, as well as some other events. And it's not televised, it's not on YouTube, they're not live streaming it. And I'm just really bummed that, why? It doesn't make any sense. Why they would live stream the qualifying for the event, but not the event.
Is that some kind of licensing agreement or something happened?
Well, it's not being televised anywhere.
Isn't that the case for our hockey team, our Colorado hockey team?
Well, they don't televise the practices.
That's true. I guess that is weird that they bothered to show that, but not the actual main event.
Yeah. But I don't think it's a licensing thing because it's not being televised anywhere. They're just not doing that. So that's really sad. That's my thorn from today. We could do our roses and our thorns. That's my thorn, is that I can't watch the Monster Jam World Finals racing event.
But every thorn has its rose. What's your rose of this week?
I went for my week for my
or
day.
The day.
I went golfing with my 4th grade teacher.
Whoa, that's
because
cool.
I tried very hard to find someone my age to go golfing with, and they all said no. So you know what? I'm going to call my 4th grade teacher and go golfing with him because he's retired, and I know he's probably just waiting for someone to call him to go golfing with him. So I went golfing with Mark. He said I don't have to call him Mr. Misservy anymore.
That's weird, though. That's really hard to break.
Well, he's like, you don't have to call me Mr. Misservy anymore. I was like, okay, Misservy. Because I'm not calling you Mark.
Yeah, it's the same when we had Miss Urfer or Jess on the show a few weeks ago. It's just hard to do.
That's a good point. But no, with the weather being nicer, which is funny because here in Fairbanks, Alaska, we were supposed to get 18 feet of snow today, and it was sunny and 70. So.
And yesterday it was snowing. I was grilling last night
yesterday.
In the snow. It was late May. I was out grilling some chicken, and the snow started falling, and it was a very weird, just a weird combination of things.
It was bizarre. I went to a thrift store yesterday, walked in, and it was raining, and it was snowing when I walked out. And I was like, sick, I've been in this thrift store for 9 months. And it's now winter again.
You could do that in a thrift store. There's just so much stuff to explore that
there is.
You come out and it's fall now. It's winter already.
No, but I bought new golf clubs. That's what I was doing at the thrift store. So I wasn't buying new golf clubs. I was buying used golf clubs. And they had a set, not like a full set, but a decent set of left-handed golf clubs. And I almost called you to see if you wanted them. It was weird because it was obvious that it was a set, but each club was individually priced. But each club was individually priced for the same amount of the set of clubs that I bought. So I don't know.
They're trying to break up the family, is what I'm hearing.
If you wanted to get a good set of clubs for cheap, you shouldn't have been left-handed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true. I pay for that everywhere I go. When I drum, I have to flip the kit around every time, and when I drive, I have to put the steering wheel on the other side of the car. Like it's just a hassle. I have to flip the pedals around the opposite way.
That made me laugh harder than it should. That was really funny. No, but it was like, because I bought a set of irons, and it was like $13. And then so I'm assuming this set of left-handed clubs would have been $13, but each club had a sticker on it that said $13. So I don't know.
So it might be 13 or it might be 130 depending on how it's priced. That's confusing.
It is confusing.
If only there was somebody I could have like asked about that. But I wouldn't have. I probably would have just left if I'd been there.
I mean, you probably could have asked if you were there. Like, sure, you could be like, hey, look, this set of golf clubs is $12.99, but all of these golf clubs are for some reason $13 a piece. The heck. What are you trying to do, Goodwill? Trying to make money? It was an arc. I don't like these what are they called? Like donation stores trying to make money off me for their, just to fatten their pockets. Arc is a nonprofit. I think they pretty much all are, right? Are there thrift stores that are not like charity focused? Goodwill's not nonprofit. I think they're still charity focused, but they're still for profit, I think. Are they really? Yeah, kind of like Hillsong Church. Okay, yeah, we'll just move on. Burn. Not cutting that one out. Not cutting that one out because it's true. I can say that. I know people who have gone there. I hate when people say, "Oh, it's okay, I can say that." Because no, it's because yeah. Anyway, this has been a very poorly structured podcast so far. That's okay. We're getting back into the swing of things. We haven't done one in a while, and we've lost our way. Yeah. Did we ever have a way? I don't think so. Other things I was going to talk about. I went to a wedding last week. Congratulations to the married people. Congratulations, Jim and Jordan. And then from that wedding, I got food poisoning, so I now rescind my congratulations to the happy couple. And then I went golfing. Oh, today, the reason we had to reschedule when we did the podcast, my dad and I went to a kite festival. What? Yeah. They had a kite festival here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and I bet you will never be able to guess what they had. Golf. No, they didn't have any golf. Did they have kites? They did. They had a raffle as well, and I entered the raffle. Churros? Yes, there was a churro truck. Yes, I went to the donut truck though, and I got a bucket of donuts, which was exorbitantly priced. However, if you keep the bucket of donuts, well, not just the bucket, not all the donuts in it, just the bucket. You go to another event, so you have to carry this bucket around with you wherever you go. You go to another event, and that same donut truck is there. You can bring the bucket, and they'll refill it for still a lot of money. This was not a sound financial decision that I made. But did you keep the bucket? Like, are you gonna keep it around? I still have it. I mean, my mom's a minimalist, so I was gonna say your mom is gonna get rid of that this week for sure. Just so you know, we have a cabinet that has like cups in it. We call it a cupboard, and I'm pretty sure that's what everyone calls it. I think I've heard that before. Actually, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, it's a fun word I'm trying out, but. I had some cups in there that I would use, like just kind of plastic, and they had like Colorado Rockies stuff on them, all that jazz. My mom did not like these cups, and she's like, Ben, can I get rid of these? I said, no, those are my cups. I use those cups for things. So there's a new place for my cups, which is in a cabinet on the other side, away from the other cabinet where we keep all the other cups. It's a underneath cabinet, not underneath the sink, but like a lower cabinet, and it's behind the dog food. That's where I get to keep my cups.
So are all your cups now going to have a little bit of a hint of dog food smell in them?
It's right next to the Cheese Whiz we used to fill their Kong.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's where I keep my cups.
Is this the straw that is going to break your back where you'll come move in with us now?
Dude, I just need a job, man.
That is true. That's true. Are you keeping busy? I don't know how much you can talk about like the work you're doing now.
I don't either. I work for a YouTuber. I can say that. I don't know.
We can't say who, but he is a beastly YouTuber, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A beastly mister that Ben works for now.
I won a Lamborghini last year. I live
now,
out of it.
If you were working for him, I think you would probably have a lot of money just by proximity. At least is how it seems. Maybe that's totally not true.
I want to find where he lives and just live in that neighborhood for a while.
Yeah, just wait for like some free cars or something to pop up.
They had one the other day. I didn't watch the whole video because I'm a Gen Z and I can't watch all of anything. But it was like he had a bunch of cars and he was like, it was either 1 or 2 minutes. You can run to a car, and if you drive it across the finish line, you get to keep that car. And the furthest car, like there was cars and they got nicer the further away from you they got. And at the very end, there was a Lamborghini. And he said it was 2 football fields away. And I'm like, that's like 600 feet. I could absolutely run 600 feet in less than 30 seconds, get to the car, and then drive it back in 30 seconds. And then I remembered that I probably couldn't because I'm not as athletic as I think I am.
Aww.
But there was
with his old age.
A Toyota Camry right next to the person. I'm like, I would just do that. It's like, okay, walk, open door, drive across the finish line. Like, that's the other thing with those videos. Like, oh, if you make this shot, you get $1 million, and they make it like you have $1 million. But if you make another shot, you get $2 million. But if you miss, you don't get any. I'm like, just take the $1 million.
Who would ever? Yeah,
you have zero incentive to go for the extra $2 million because like you already have $1 million more dollars. Maybe it's like even if it was $1,000, like, oh, if you make another shot, you get $2,000. But like, no, it's not worth it.
Okay, but what if it was you make the first shot, you get $1,000. You make a second shot, you get $1 million.
Oh, that's a good point.
Where's the breakdown here where you go for that second shot? Because I would do that. Like if it was 1,000 times the stakes for a second.
What type of shot is it? Because I'm not very good at basketball. So I'd probably just be amazed I made the first one.
That's true. I guess, is it a different shot? The second shot? Is it like a harder shot? It's not the same one?
When I was in middle school, they had this like fundraiser thing. So you like paid $5. Maybe it was less than that. I can't remember how it worked. But you would go and like you'd get a basketball and you'd like buy in for $5 or whatever. And or maybe it was $1. But if you like did a layup, you'd get your $1 back. And then if you went to like the free throw line, you'd make $5. And if you went to the 3-point line, you'd make $20. And if you went to the half court line and you shot it and made it, you'd make $50. And I remember one time my friend Kimball, friend of the show Kimball, he like signed up to do this and then he couldn't make it. So he was like, hey, Ben, will you go do this on my behalf? I was like, sure. And he's like, I'm going to do the 3-pointer one. And I was like, okay, you might be doing the 3-pointer one. Like, I know I'm not. So he told me to go try and make a 3-pointer. And you know what? I missed. Which I could have told him beforehand that I was going to. Because 23-year-old Ben is just as good a basketball player as 12-year-old middle school Ben. So, sorry, Kimball. Well, as you can tell, I didn't do much for my week.
I thought that was going to be like the big story of, I went to the half court shot and I made it and I made $50.
And I only gave Kimball 20.
Kind of let down. No. That sounds like gambling for children in middle school. This is what our public school dollars are doing, is teaching our children how to gamble.
Have you ever been to a cakewalk?
No, but it sounds easy.
We're venturing into some pretty public school territory here. Cakewalk. I bet if you asked Jessie, she would know what a cakewalk is.
I'll have to ask her after this.
Okay. But a cakewalk is you go to a thing, and everyone walks in a circle while they're playing music. It's kind of like musical chairs, but there's cake involved. And so, prior to the event, everyone bakes a baked good and then brings it to this event. And then you walk in a circle on these, like, I don't know, like paper plates or whatever, kind of just like a little spot on the floor that has a number. And the music stops, you stop walking, and then they draw a number out of a bingo thing, kind of. And then if you're standing on that number, you get to go pick an item from the table of baked goods.
Oh.
And that's what a cakewalk is.
That sounds amazing.
Which is also kind of like gambling. But
that's true. Gambling over desserts. That's okay.
It's gambling you don't even have a say in.
I want to know, like, what's the dessert that always gets left behind? What's the last one to get picked? Yeah, fruitcake.
Yeah, no, I've been to somewhere they have fruitcake. And I think one time I grabbed the fruitcake because I was like, this sounds good. It's fruit in a cake. And I brought it home. My mom was like, what have you done?
Benjamin, why?
Out of all the things you could have taken, you chose the fruitcake.
Yeah, that's like enough to disown you right there. You bring home a fruitcake.
Have you ever had fruitcake?
Yeah, it's all right. It's nothing more than all right.
Pretty sure the fruitcake
you didn't even eat
home. No, it got put straight in the garbage. It was like a store-bought fruitcake. It wasn't even like someone made it.
It's very disappointing. Anytime you see a cake and it turns out to be a fruitcake, it's like, why did I even come? Why did I even come to this wedding? I don't know.
I will say, sometimes it is kind of like White Elephant game-esque, where you're standing on a number, they call a number, and then the baked good has that number. So in my defense, it could have been one of those situations, but I may have just taken the fruitcake.
Memory fails you.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your week? You went to California.
I did. I went to
Spoiler
California.
Alert. It is funny because when we were talking before the show, you talked about the thing you want to talk about, and it wasn't California.
It's not my big story of the week. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of stories or things to talk about. I feel like I have to bring closure to Bryan's stay with us.
Right.
Because last time on the podcast, we had Bryan Stanley from the Journeys of Scientists podcast, live and in person.
It was great.
On the podcast in our basement. And he stayed with us for a few days. Really, the big event of the week, which I thought would be the podcast, turned out to actually happen his last night with us. He ended up having another friend of his over. Shout out to Abby, who's in our Discord now and is now mentioned on the podcast. But we were all sitting around having dinner, the four of us, and I had joked earlier in the week that, like, you know, you could take my car if you needed to get around, because he was taking the bus a lot, but he can't drive a manual. So he was like, it's fine, I'll just take the bus instead of try and use your car. And so at the end of the week, we were like, you know what, let's just take you out and teach you how to drive a stick, because that's, like, it's something everybody's got to do. It's fun. All four of us are going to go and intimidate you, because that's the best way to do it, is to drive a stick for the first time with a car full of people. And we even got Michael on the phone too. So he was on my, like, hands-free phone system in the car. Probably very confused for much of it, which was great. In fact, we even have a voicemail that I'll insert into the podcast here that we left for Michael when we were trying to get him to call us back. And you can kind of hear the commotion, the cacophony in our car.
Michael, why is your voicemail thing so long? Anyway, Noah's going to show me how to drive a stick, so I'm going to crash into the side of a building, I guess.
Yeah, we were calling you for advice since you're the last person I took out to drive a stick.
All right, cool.
All right.
Talk, goodbye.
But
the cacophony of commotion.
The cacophony of commotion. That's our new band name, or just our podcast name. So we took him to a school. We took him to a school that's near our house because it had, like, a big open parking lot, and we just started doing circles, you know. And Bryan did really well, to his credit. He got it. Like, he did not kill it his first try. He got it into gear his very first try. I think he killed it like his third and fourth tries once he was more comfortable. But when he wasn't comfortable, he did great and got it into gear, then got it into second gear. We were just doing circles in this little elementary school parking lot. And we're alone in the parking lot until we do another lap. This is after about 15 minutes, and there's this like brand new white BMW just sitting in the parking lot. And Bryan was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna, think we're crazy because we're just driving around in circles." And then the white BMW started following us, like close behind us, and started kind of doing a lap with us, which made us kind of uncomfortable. And then he backed off, and then he just like floored it through the parking lot. And it's not a big parking lot, but he started flooring it, going like 40 or 50 miles an hour as quickly as he could through the parking lot, and then just braking it, like screeching to a halt at the end of the parking lot, and then turning around and doing it again. And Bryan was like starting to get uncomfortable at this point, and we're like, okay, we'll just leave. Like, we don't want to mess with this guy.
We want no part in this.
Yeah, we don't want to race. And we don't know if, like, Bryan was kind of revving the engine, trying to get it into gear, getting it to engage. So we don't know if the guy thought that we were trying to like challenge him to a race or something. So Bryan like very slowly pulls out of the school parking lot. And then the BMW proceeds to follow us out of the parking lot, down the street. And we're like freaking out at this point. Like, we don't want any part of this. We don't want to be here. And so Bryan just pulled the car over and he's like, "No, you drive. I don't want to do this." And at that point, the BMW just sped on by us at full speed and never came back. And we've never seen him again. But that's the story of how Bryan almost got us into a street race.
You could have made like a new friend. Maybe it was your friend, from the motorcycle. He's graduated from the motorcycle to a BMW.
That's true. I have a lot of interesting road stories at this point.
You do. At least your car goes on the road.
It would have been great to get that guy on a podcast. Just find out, hey, why do you on a Friday night find yourself sitting in a elementary school parking lot waiting for somebody to come race you? Like, what was that guy doing there? What was his story?
It's the principal. That's just what he does.
He's the principal of the school.
It's like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I'm kidding. Principal of a public school does not have a BMW. So
yeah, no
public school figure.
Not of a public school.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a really good time with Bryan. It was really fun. So it was exciting to see him. But then this week, we went to California, San Diego. We were very, very south, and we had this sweet little Airbnb right on the beach. Like, you could open the back door, open the gate, and you were on the beach, which was really cool. And we were in this little area of San Diego that, like, the part of the beach we were on was specifically called Dog Beach. So it was like the area made for dogs, and everyone in this town, every single person in this town had a dog. We like got coffee a lot and would just sit and kind of watch people walk by, and everybody would walk by with a dog. It was crazy. I'd never seen.
That's awesome.
Like, the dog to person ratio was about 1-to-1. It was insane. But we had a lot of fun. We just did a lot of laying on the beach, a lot of reading. We went to Balboa Park, which was really cool. There's this giant organ there that's like 30 feet tall, and this guy was just sitting there playing organ music, and you can hear it for like from the whole park, basically, like even a mile or two away. And it's just, I don't know, it's this haunting organ music, which I don't know if it's, Jesse and I had this discussion, like, I don't know if organ music is scary because like we just associate it with like old horror movies or something, or if organ music is scary because organs just sound scary. What do you think?
I love organs. I think it's definitely the association with like someone's walked into an old church building that no one's been in 50 years, and it's like, no. I think that's probably it. I mean, it does have a haunting sound because it does both the lows and the really highs very well. It's one of the only instruments that can do both at the same time. But I love the organ. A few weeks ago on Good Friday, I went to a church in somewhere near Fairbanks, Alaska, and they started singing. And like, I grew up in a Church of Christ, so I'm like, yeah, a hymnal. I've done this before, but I didn't realize. I don't know how I missed it, but there was an organ in this church, and someone just started playing the organ while we were singing, and I was like, this is amazing. Highly recommend going to, or at least visiting, a church that has an organ. Good time. So I love organs.
They are super cool. Yeah.
I don't know if that's answered your question.
And yeah, I don't mean to disparage organs at all, because they are a really, really cool instrument, and they do sound really, really cool. But it was a little haunting, like walking through this green park spooky area, and you just hear an organ like far off somewhere, and it's loud, and it's just echoing through the skies. Very, very cool experience. It was really fun.
Would an organ at a baseball game scare you? Because they have those.
I would be scared, but because I'm at a baseball game.
Oh.
Like, how did I get here? What happened?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably you. If I'm at a baseball game, it's probably because of you.
You've probably been to more Little League baseball games that I played in than you've been to professional baseball games.
That's probably true. I also haven't been to that many like Colorado Rockies games, but I've been to a few, and they are fun. It is fun.
They are fun. I love baseball games. Sorry, you were saying?
I think the highlight of the trip for Jesse was when we were just wandering around. We ended up walking into this little like conference room where there was a like geranium exhibition, and it was all these nice older ladies that had all these different kinds of geraniums, and they'd made like presentations about them, like, you know, those like 3-section boards that kids would use in science fairs. It's got like the left, middle, and right section, and they have, you know, information on them. These ladies had like created these nice board presentations with facts about like different kinds of geraniums and the difference between, I want to get this right, geraniums and
all the people there are listening.
Pelargoniums. Yes. Pelargoniums, which I believe are a type. No, geraniums are a type of pelargonium. I don't know, something like that.
There's going to be a test later.
I ended up reading quite a bit about it from these science fair boards, and it was very exciting. Jesse was just so excited to be surrounded with plants. I should send your mom a picture.
You should. That is 100% something my mom would enjoy.
Yeah, it felt like she could probably strike up a conversation with anybody in this room and have a great time.
Oh, yeah.
But my main story is my terrible, terrible relationship with glass, or as Ben put in my weekly update on our show notes, shattering the glass ceiling. 2 weeks ago, I was filming a video, and I have these huge, like, spiral lights. I forget what they're called. I don't think they're fluorescent, but they're big, big lights. And once I was finished filming the video, I was carrying one of the lights downstairs and somehow dropped a light bulb, this big old light bulb, and it shattered glass all over the living room. I immediately went to open the windows because I was like, I think there's gas or something in these, and I might be about to die. Thankfully, I didn't die. Spoiler alert. Then next week, a week after that, we had put our umbrella up on our glass furniture, our glass table outside on our patio, and Jesse was working on getting some of the wasps out of it. And then this sudden wind came up while we were both inside and absolutely shattered our giant glass table into thousands and thousands of pieces. And Ben even came over and helped us pick up a few pieces the next day.
I picked up like 2.
Yeah, okay.
I was just there.
He was just there. He was just there to point out, like, oh, you missed a spot. You missed that one. You missed some glass.
I do sometimes just show up at their house just to point out flaws in their outdoor patio area. It's a good time. You should try it.
You got a weed growing here. Oh, there's more mice again. But then, not 2 hours ago, I was playing in a Mario Kart tournament that I had set up for some people online.
Oh, this was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
This was. Oh, okay. This is like
just
breaking
happened.
news.
It has not even been cleaned up yet because I had to come do this. But I was in the basement playing some Mario Kart. We have this nice glass jar with a candle in it on our coffee table in the basement.
Yeah, we've
And
talked about it at great length on
That's
the last
true.
podcast.
The candle that we lit on the very last podcast. I put my feet up to recline on the coffee table. I kicked the glass jar over, landed on the hard concrete in the basement, and shattered into 100 pieces. So
this gives me a great opportunity. What is it like to hold a candle not in one of those things?
You know, I was excited about that because the candle is obviously still salvageable. I'll just clean off the glass pieces and then I just have a normal naked candle. Yeah. Which it's always hard to know, like when I finish one of those candles in a jar, what do you do with the jar? Like the candle wax is really hard to get out.
Yeah.
Do you
freeze it? You put it in a freezer and then you can scrape the candle wax out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would do that if I still had one to. Sounds like a nice thing I could have done. But instead, for the third time in 2 weeks, I get to go spend some time cleaning up glass.
Do you need me to come supervise?
Yeah, if you'd love to come supervise and show me all the pieces I missed, that would be great.
Perfect. I'll do that.
So if anyone is thinking of ever getting me a gift in my life, just don't get me anything that's glass because I can't be trusted. I'm just on a quest to destroy every glass item in my household.
That's a good quest. I mean, minimalism, man.
Yeah, minimalism. No glass. Glass is
no glass at all.
It's only plastic from here on out.
That's the future.
Yeah, the future is plastic.
Do we have any? Well, I'm first of all glad you haven't gotten any glass in your eye, in your in your fingers, in your fingertips, because that would just suck.
Well, I haven't cleaned up this third batch yet, so we'll see.
Oh, that's true. Wear gloves.
Yes.
But I'm glad so far you have not shattered, so that's a good thing.
My spirit has, though. Just my spirit.
Just very broken on the inside. Do we have any reviews, feedback, or speak pipes from the past week?
We do not. I don't believe.
Awesome.
So we can jump right into a game if you want.
We can jump right into a game. And this game was inspired by me asking my parents what I should do for a game. And they gave me an option, and I decided to do something completely different. This game is called Poorly Explained. You might recall a few years ago, there was a fairly popular thing on Twitter. I believe the kids call it trending. Trending thing on Twitter. I don't know why I'm saying that so weird. There was a trend on Twitter, and it was to explain a film plot badly. You'd give a pretty vague, however accurate and weird description of a movie and then include what movie you're talking about. I thought we could take those and turn them into a game. I'm going to ask Noah. I'm going to read some of these poorly explained plots to Noah and see how many he can get the correct movie for. Does that sound good? I have 10 of them.
Yeah, sure.
Go
whatever.
quick.
That's fine.
Okay, he seems into it.
I'm excited. This is either going to go really bad or really well. I was about to say really bad or really poorly, which would not.
It can only go one of two ways: bad or badly. This first one was tweeted by Esser Unsalan. Sorry if you're saying your name wrong, Esser. And it goes as such. Group spends 9 hours returning jewelry.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. All three of them.
All three of them collectively.
Yeah, more specifically, you spend 9 hours watching people return jewelry.
And I do it every year, and I never regret it.
And he never regrets it. Everyone tries the ice... Oh, this one was sent in by Sankt. Everyone tries the ice bucket challenge.
Everyone tries the ice bucket challenge. Okay, so that was a trend in, 2014?
Something like that.
People dumping buckets of ice on their head in what some would call a challenge. I'm not stalling. I'm just
giving context.
Yeah, I'm explaining.
For those of you who don't know what the ice bucket challenge is,
some of our listeners weren't old enough in 2014 to know.
It was to raise awareness for ALS.
That is true. I'm trying to think of people dumping ice on their heads. All I can think of is like Ice Age, which doesn't make sense to me.
It does have ice in the name, though.
It has ice in the name. Do you have the answers for these?
I do, yes.
Okay. Man, I think I have to give a pass on that one.
He doesn't know it. The answer is the Titanic.
Oh.
Everyone tries the ice bucket challenge.
Involuntary, but yes, they did. That's true.
I mean, no one wanted to do the ice bucket challenge.
Not the girl, not Rose. She didn't want to dip her toes in.
Well, she's still... I don't know. I never seen it.
She didn't commit.
All right, for our third one, Noah is 1 for 2. Leonardo DiCaprio wanders a frozen wasteland in search of an Oscar.
The Revenant.
Yes, The Revenant.
Which I did watch recently, and it was pretty good.
I was thinking about The Revenant the other day, and I was thinking about how, like, everyone gave Leonardo DiCaprio so much, like, praise and applause for this movie. Because he's like, oh, he ate like a raw liver from a bear or something, and he actually
fought a real bear to do that movie.
Yeah, and there's like, he cut open a horse and went inside of it, and it was a real dead horse. And I'm like, I don't think you should get the Oscar for Best Acting if you actually do all the things. Because like,
yeah, you didn't have to act.
I didn't act. I too could act very disgusted eating a raw liver. But I'm not going to get an Oscar for it. He's 2 for 3. Noah is, as we go into round number 4. This one is Stockholm Syndrome Works.
Oh, that could be a lot of movies. Okay. So people have made this joke about Beauty and the Beast, which I think is probably what this is going to be. But I'm gonna go an extra level and say it is the 1994 version of Beauty and the Beast by Disney.
Are there different versions?
There was that new one.
You're right, there are. And you're right, the 1994 version by Disney.
Yes!
Is Beauty and the Beast. That one was tweeted by Dan Slott, who is verified on Twitter.
Oh, good job, Dan Slott.
Congratulations, Dan Slott.
He's got some good banger tweets, I'm sure.
The one, I didn't read out the name of the person who tweeted the Revenant one. It's Duwad McButtnuggets.
Everyone give our friend Duwad a follow on Twitter. Actually,
and I didn't know that.
If that's true.
I didn't know that until I went back and I was like, oh, I didn't read the last one. I should go do that. And it was Duwad McButtnuggets. Anyway, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 3 for 4. This one's kind of specific. I mean, I guess these all are. This one movie. Explain a film plot badly. This is by D. Grand. Talking frog convinces son to kill his dad.
Whoa, now. Okay.
Whoa.
I thought with Talking Frog that was going to be very specific. Like I should be. Oh! Star Wars.
Specific?
Empire Strikes Back.
What number is that?
Or Return of the Jedi. I mean,
I'm gonna need a number.
That's true in both of those. I will say, I'll say Empire Strikes Back, which is number 5.
You're correct. Star Wars Episode 5. Talking frog convinces son to kill his dad.
I was thinking like Princess and the Frog at first, and I was like, wait, hold on, no.
This next one, sent in by Caleb Williams, is sadly one of my favorite movies, but this is a very accurate plot.
I feel like I know your favorite movies pretty well, so I'm feeling good about this.
I'll put money on this. I shouldn't have said that. Drug-addicted girl takes advantage of mentally challenged boy for 3 decades.
Whoa. Drug-addicted girl takes advantage of mentally... What did you say?
Drug-addicted girl takes advantage of mentally challenged boy for 3 decades.
Okay, well, that's not La La Land, and that's not...
Doesn't this seem like a movie Ben would love? I watch this movie and then I go see monster trucks.
Huh. Well, let me run through. you love Tangled.
I do love Tangled.
I don't think it's Tangled.
That's a good guess.
Those are like the two movies that I know you really, really like. I feel like there's probably one listener out there that's screaming it at me. Like, it's obviously...
I'm sure my parents have gotten this by now. I will say, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's an older movie. Like 90s?
Okay. I was thinking like Singing in the Rain. So not that old. 90s.
When did this movie come out? It may have came out in the 80s. 1 second. 1994. It's Beauty and the Beast.
1994. Lion King. Or Beauty and the Beast. Man, I don't know.
Noah.
I got to pass.
The correct answer is Forrest Gump.
Oh, I have not seen that movie. So
oh no. It's a great movie. I do genuinely really like that movie.
I know. I feel like it's such a classic, and I have never seen it.
Won the Oscar for Best Picture.
It's a movie, though. It's a lot of pictures.
It's several pictures.
Several pictures at like 24 frames per second.
This one sent in by Jan Mizowski.
Oh, that's the green monster in Monsters, Inc.
It is. A family's first Airbnb experience goes very wrong.
Family's first Airbnb experience. Okay. Oh. What is it? What is it called? Kubrick. The Shining.
It's... Let me make sure. I gotta double check. Yes. It's The Shining.
The
Look,
Shining.
There's his face poking through the...
Jack Nicholson.
That's correct. It's The Shining. Based on a hotel that's here in Fairbanks.
Based on a book. We were just having this discussion in Discord about movies that were based on books, including Blade Runner, which I just watched and thought it was pretty boring, actually. And yeah, we can add The Shining to that list.
We can add The Shining to that list. If you're not a part of our Discord, you should really join. We have a new channel in there called the Bowtie Book Club. You can join us at noodlespodcast.com.
Noodlespodcast.com.
And there's a little button that says join the Discord, and you can click on it, and you'll be invited to join the Discord. And go in there and add any books or movies that were based off of books that you might not be aware of. I was able to stump Shiv because Chivalry Bean, he's someone in our Discord, How to Train Your Dragon, based on books. Not many people know that. Very good books, too.
Shrek.
Anyway, moving on.
Was Shrek based on a book?
I don't think so.
Shrek, loosely based on the 1990 fairy tale picture book of the same name by William Steig. Yeah.
Oh. I rescind what I said. It is based on a book. Okay.
I'm just going to put that in the Discord. Shrek. Like no context. And The Shining.
Shrek, The Shining. What if they made The Shining version that had Shrek in it? A Shrek version of The Shining.
The Shrekking.
The Shrekking.
He like pokes his head through like the famous scene that we were just talking about.
Yeah. Here's Johnny.
Here's Shreky.
Maggie Sirota says, also verified on Twitter, paranoid billionaire afraid of immigrant.
Was this presidents or what is this? This is a movie?
This is explain a film plot badly. Paranoid billionaire afraid of immigrant.
Okay. There's the Iron Man movies that I haven't really seen. I don't think there were any immigrants. What other movies with
If it helps,
Annie?
I think you've seen this movie.
Slumdog Billionaire.
No.
The sequel.
No.
Stakes are 1,000 times higher.
Nope.
That's the tagline for the sequel. This time, the stakes. Man, I feel like I should be able to get this one. I bet I do know it.
Okay, here's what I can say. I don't, and this might work as a hint. I think you've seen this movie, but I'm not sure. However, I can tell you that I haven't and would never go see this movie.
Ooh, okay. Okay, that makes me think that it is like a Batman movie. Because I know Batman's a little scary, and he's a billionaire, and he's paranoid. Who would be the immigrant, though? There's the Joker. He's not an immigrant, I don't think. There was Bane. Maybe he was. There was Ra's al Ghul. I'm gonna say Batman Begins. I don't think that's right, but
it's Batman versus Superman.
Oh. Yes, I have seen that movie. I do own this movie, not because I bought it, but I own it through marriage.
Oh, Jessie bought it.
Jessie loves that movie. She's the one
Really?
person that loves that movie, like in the world.
You should have phoned a friend.
Yeah, she would have gotten that.
I'm glad you picked up on my hint that I would never go see this movie. It's like, oh, it's a Batman movie.
Like, it must be a Batman movie. I just forgot that one existed because we all try to forget that one exists.
We all try to forget that one existed. All right, moving on. Depressed, widowed father teams up with mentally challenged woman to find his disabled son.
Santa Claus. No.
No.
Oh, Finding Nemo.
Yes, Finding Nemo. Starring Ellen DeGeneres.
And Marlon Brando.
And Marlon Brando. And whoever voiced Nemo.
And Willem Dafoe is in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, he plays Gil.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to go back and you'll hear it. It's crazy.
Willem Dafoe or Willem DeFriend? DeFriend or Dafoe? All right, last one. This one might be a little hard. I probably should have done another one for last because I don't know if I would get this one. And I also don't know if you've seen this movie. But here we go. This one's sent in by Fenris Space Puppy. It says, billions of dollars in subsidies for a potato farmer.
I have seen movies about potato farmers, weirdly enough.
Okay.
I saw a Christian movie called Faith Like Potatoes. I don't think that's where this is going. There was also that movie about that farmer that built a spaceship. Astronaut farmer or whatever.
Interstellar?
No. It was called I think it was called Astronaut Farmer. Yeah, The Astronaut Farmer stars Billy Bob Thornton and
Of
Mark
course it does.
Polish. Potatoes. Potato farmer. Why are there so many movies about potato farmers? I don't know. I think I have to skip it.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah, give me a hint.
You were on sort of the right track with the space farmer one, astronaut farmer.
Oh, okay. So it's like a space movie.
Uh-huh. With potatoes.
Oh. The Martian.
Yes, The Martian. Billions of dollars in subsidies for a potato farmer. Honestly, an underrated movie.
You know, I only saw the first half of it, but it was really good. I don't actually know what happened. I don't know if they rescued him or not.
They didn't. He's dead.
I had to go home. Matt
Or
Damon,
he's still
up there.
Yeah, they never got Matt Damon back.
They shot that on location, I think.
They did. It was just him with a GoPro. The whole thing was a GoPro Hero 8 ad.
They just sent him into space with a GoPro Hero 8 and a script. They're like, just send us back the footage when you can.
The Martian. I always forget about that movie. Like I say, it's an underrated movie, but I also always forget that movie exists.
Well, Matt Damon went through a space phase because he was also in Interstellar, which came out like that same time. I also
forget he was in Interstellar all the time.
And he was also a guy that they like sent to a planet and then left him there, and they went to go rescue him. Like that.
Maybe it's just a warning to Matt Damon. Like,
we will
when
do
we
this
get the
to
chance.
Isn't Tom Cruise shooting a movie in space? Like actually in space?
I mean, he would.
Now I'm Googling this. A UK-based company claims to be producing Tom Cruise's upcoming film in space. Yeah. I don't know how that works, but...
Define space.
It's Top
we're
Gun
all
spaceship
in space.
guy. That's the new one.
Space Force?
Yeah. No, it's Top Gun, but he accidentally goes a little too far up, and he's in space.
He was just listening to Highway to the Danger Zone way too loudly. He's like,
Yeah. Just still climbing that altitude, and he's like,
oh man, I missed my exit.
I left the atmosphere. Time to make a movie up here, I guess.
Time to make a movie. Good thing I brought my GoPro Hero 8.
With
GoPro
increased
Hero
image stabilization and...
You can do anything with a Hero 8.
Shoot
With
your
its-
Christian Science documentaries up here.
It's 7 billion hours of battery life.
This will get me all the way to the sun and back. Well, not back, but
Well, not bad.
we haven't figured
It's
that.
never-
It'll get
It's a
camera
GoPro.
will survive. I won't survive.
It'll be fine. It's a GoPro. Oh man. So my family has a GoPro, and GoPro. It's built different or whatever their slogan is. It's built Ford tough. Is that what the?
That's the slogan. Built Ford.
Is that the slogan?
Tough. GoPro.
Built Ford tough. My dad, we had just gotten it, and for whatever reason, my dad was testing it by recording me and him putting in like flagstone, in our back patio area. Which, okay, whatever. And the tripod fell over and broke the GoPro. And it's like, oh yeah, we have a GoPro, that thing that people take skydiving and falls out of planes and does all that stuff. What'd you do to yours? Landscaping. We did some landscaping and it broke.
We went dirt biking off the trail. No.
No.
We
We put it on a
landscaped.
tripod and the tripod fell over and it broke.
That's so sad.
Yeah. And then my brother took it on a kayaking trip in the San Juan Islands
And lost it.
and lost it forever. Just kidding. We brought it back. But we had to send it. I don't know actually if we've sent it away to get fixed yet. From our landscaping accident.
Oh man, yeah, that's at least when you break a GoPro, you at least have to have a really cool story of something really cool.
I know,
you
and
did.
we have nothing. We were
You have nothing.
landscaping.
Well, Ben, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back. I'm so glad people listen to us ramble for an hour every other week. Really helps my ego.
Really makes us feel good about ourselves as we watch
Really
those
makes-
numbers climb, those analytic numbers.
Exactly. Well, congratulations, Noah. You got 6 out of 10 right on the game. No, you got 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
That's a
The only
C.
The only ones you didn't get were Forrest Gump. You didn't get... Oh, I'm going to have to pull it back up. You didn't get Forrest Gump. You didn't get Batman vs. Superman. And you didn't get
Titanic.
But you got the other 7.
That's a C. That's a solid C.
Well done. Do you have anything you would like to add before we say so long to our fair podcast friends?
Watch yourself around glass. Just don't do it. If you're at a Kohl's and you see that nice glass kitchen item and you're like, I need to have that, just don't do it. Don't do it. That's my advice.
Just don't do it.
Peace.
Peace.
No, you can say
We're
something.
all winners here.
We're
Thank you so much for listening. We're all winners here. Congratulations, Noah. He got 7 out of 10 right. That's a C. Bye.